Welcome to the Conicopia of Fun. You're probably watching this video because you missed class this day, and so you need to figure out what you need to do to get credit for this day. It is worth 10 points in quizzes, which is 70% of your grade, so this is a chunk of your grade. You will need 3 pieces of construction paper, a string, some graph paper, and some fasteners. You'll see later in the video what we're going to do with all these things. On the first page, just go ahead and draw a cone, make it a little bit creative, write your name below it so I know who it belongs to. I highly recommend just watching the entire video so you can understand what we're doing, and then replay the pieces that you need. Go ahead and pull out your first piece of construction paper. We're going to start off with a parabola. We're going to be talking about parabolas today. Make sure you write the general equation for a parabola below your title, parabola. The bottom edge of your page is going to be called the directrix. This is a specific line that we haven't talked about before with parabolas. Then draw a dot somewhere in the center of the page. I recommend doing it higher than I drew my dot, so more up, if you will. So label your directrix and focus. Now here's the tricky part. You're going to take that directrix and fold it onto the focus everywhere along the page. Crease it all the way through to the sides. What's going to happen is that these dozens and dozens of creases are going to eventually make a parabola. Once you've done enough folds, it's very easy to see where the parabola is. So go ahead and mark it. And also write down this information that any point on the parabola is the same distance from the directrix as the focus. This is a pretty cool fact. So this is a good way to check if you drew a good parabola or not. It's just check to see if the distance is about the same from that point to the directrix and to the focus. Alright, this is the second paper that we're going to work on. It's the ellipse. This is probably the most challenging one. In class, most kids were getting very frustrated. A couple of tips. When you're putting your fasteners in, make sure they're not tight next to the paper. Make sure they stick out a little bit. You might have to do a couple of tries, and that's totally fine. If you have a little bit of smears or smudges, that's okay. After you successfully draw an ellipse, go ahead and write where the foci are, as well as these different pieces of information about the ellipse. The center is really at 0, 0. I just said HK because sometimes that's how we call the center. And write the general formula for an ellipse. So we are going to do that process again. This time we're going to do it on graph paper and center our ellipse at 0, 0. So you need to draw your y and x-axis. Pick 2 places for your foci. Doesn't have to be the same as mine, but this is where you're going to put the fasteners in, so that you can swing a string around it and draw an ellipse. The goal here is to draw a pretty accurate ellipse so that we can actually write an actual equation for it. As you can see, I don't have an easy time of it either. I do make a couple mistakes here and there, and that's okay. Just as long as you can see the general shape. Once you're done drawing your ellipse, go ahead and pull the fasteners out and figure out your length of A and your length of B. Mark the coordinates. Once you find your A and B, you now have enough information to write the equation of your ellipse. Alright, this is our third piece of construction paper. This is probably the easiest one. We're going to be doing a circle with the center at HK. You're going to go ahead and need just one fastener and a piece of string. You might want to make your string shorter so your circle can fit on your paper. You're going to go ahead and fasten your string around the fastener and swing it around, make a circle. Be careful because that string likes to slip. Make sure you write this little fact on the side. A circle is an ellipse. Both of the foci just happen to be in the same spot. It's kind of like saying that a square is a rectangle. We don't usually call a square a rectangle, but it does follow the same properties as a rectangle. You're almost done with your Conicopia of fun. Now we're going to do a circle. We're going to find the actual equation of the circle, and we don't want the center at 0, 0. Pick any other point besides 0, 0, and do your circle around that point. Find the length of your radius. Once you find the length of your radius, you have enough information to write the equation of a circle. If you need to, refer back to the paper that we just did with the general equation, so that you can write the equation of your circle. Okay, you're all set. You've done everything. Just put your circles together, your ellipses together, your parabola, and your Conicopia title page on the top, and staple it together and get it turned in. Good work.